Oh, great, you're back. I know that we said we'd get started on that PowerPoint presentation, but I just got a quick message from Scott here. Looks pretty urgent. Let me just take a look. It's on my phone. He's saying we've secured a meeting for a pitch later this week with Rake LLC. Obviously, that's a big one, right? They may be considering a possible sale of the company. So, obviously, this is going to be highly confidential at this point. He's saying, please get started on a slide deck as soon as possible. I can't remember which sections we normally include in our pitch books, but for this one, we're going to need, actually, if you could take down a couple of notes. For this one, he's saying we're going to need background, valuation, and team. He's asking us to get started on what we can for now. He'll follow up with more info later. Perfect. I'm just going to reply back to Scott here. Got it. We'll get started. Thanks. Shoot that through. Okay, wonderful. So obviously we're going to need to dive in and get this started right away. Now, obviously this could be a big opportunity. You know as well as I do that Rake is a large company. There's a bunch of different business segments. There actually could be a few different things that we're going to need to pull together into this presentation. But don't worry, we'll work together on this. Remember, we're using Macabacus. We got this. All right, so first things first. Obviously, this is a very confidential situation here. So let's make sure that we get all the proper compliance security measures in place. Obviously, we're going to need a code name for this file. So I've already sent Scott a quick message letting him know that we're going to refer to everything from this point forward for this file as Robot Labs. Now, let's dive in and get started on some of those things that he asked us for. All right, let's get started right here. Just going to click on this title page and then quick little pro tip. A lot of people use the mouse for PowerPoint. Keyboard is so much faster. So let's tap the tab key right now and we're highlighting that first text box. We can tap now F2 and we're inside that text box. So we want to put in here presentation 2 Robot Labs, just like this. Now that we're done, we tap escape once and hit the tab key and we're on to the next text box. So let's tap F2 to edit this text box. We're going to say here, timing could be ideal for a potential exit. Now we hit escape once, tab once, down to the next text box. So we can tap the F2 key to edit again, and we'll put in here June 30th, just like that, 2023. Escape once, tab once, and we're down to the next box again. All right, again, let's tap F2 just to pop into this cell. And we're just going to put in our name and our credentials in here. Tap escape a couple times, all good. So we have the proper code name in place now, but you can see these watermarks here are marked as draft. Let's change those up. We're just going to go up here to the Macabacus section of the ribbon. Right over here, if you click on master shapes, and then here for stamps, you can go across. Let's click here, confidential, and these watermarks update instantly. And in fact, they've changed on every single slide in this presentation. Perfect. Now let's flip over to a slide sorter view. So what we're going to do here is tap Alt-WI to get into slide sorter. And what we can see are the sections that we asked for: overview, valuation, and appendix. But Scott was asking for different ones. What were those? I think he was asking for background. So we can change this one to background, valuation. Oh, and then he wanted a team section in there as well. So we can just switch up this overview section, change it to background. So let's just right click over overview, rename section. We're going to put in here background and hit enter, and that change has been made. Now remember, Scott asked us to put in a team section right before appendix. So let's go down here. Let's click just to the left of appendix like that, up here to the Macabacus section of the ribbon, over here on agenda, and we're going to add a section. Let's call this one team and hit enter, and that's been added. Let's quickly review these sections to make sure that we have them right. There's a default section here, and then Scott asked for here, background, valuation, and team. Perfect. We also have an appendix down at the bottom, which might be handy. Now we may want to quickly check the appendix. If we want to use the keyboard, here's a quick little pro tip. If we hit the down arrow, we're into the appendix section, but we want the individual slides. So tap the down arrow once more, and now we have the individual slides. Now we can use the right arrow to get over here to the legal disclaimers and tap enter to get to that slide. Now we should probably put a title in place here. We know how to do this with the keyboard. Hit the tab key and then F2. We're going to put in here legal disclaimer like that. Escape twice. We're done. All right, let's tap the down arrow. This contact information here looks great. Let's go back to slide sorter. So Alt W I, and let's go back up to the top and just give this one last check. So we have all the sections in place now that Scott asked us for. One of the things to note is that the first slide in each section, for instance, this one right here that says background, those first slides are referred to as fly sheets. These are going to come in really handy because I know Scott is going to want us to add a table of contents to this presentation. Let's jump ahead to the next video and get started on that table of contents. We'll see you there. Now, as we mentioned, Scott is definitely going to want us to put a table of contents in this presentation, and for good reason. The audience is going to want to know exactly what we're going to be covering up front. Now, the peculiar thing is that there is native functionality in Microsoft Word for table of contents, but it doesn't exist in PowerPoint. Thankfully, Macabacus has solved for that. Let's jump in and see just how it works. Now let's go back to slide sorter view. So Alt WI to get back there. And then we want to increase the zoom. So that's Alt WQ. Now we can use the up arrow to go to 200% and hit enter. Macabacus makes it so easy to add a table of contents in. Let's go up here and click on Macabacus and then go across here, agenda. And we want to go down here to table of contents and just say add TOC slide and click that. And instantly we get a table of contents. Every section is listed here along with the appropriate slide numbers. Now this table of contents is great, but let's imagine we're going through the presentation. Maybe we're down here in the valuation section. The audience is going to know that we're in the valuation section, but they don't know exactly where they are in the presentation. They don't know how many more sections are remaining. They would prefer to always know exactly where they are. Let's see if we can improve upon this. Alt WI, back to slide sorter view to see if we can make this better. What we can do is head up here to the Macabacus section of the ribbon, over to agenda, and under agenda options, we can see we're currently set with the fly sheets to topic style. Let's click here, agenda, and then click back and we can see that a change has been made to the fly sheets. Now again, imagine we're delivering this presentation and we're right here in the valuation section. At this point, the audience knows exactly where it is in the process. They also know that there's going to be a team section coming and then an appendix. This is perfect. Now let's tap Alt WI just to go back to the slide sorter view right to the top. So this is great. We have the table of contents in place and we've switched the fly sheets over to agenda style. This is going to enable the audience to always know where they are in the process and what's coming up next. The key there is that if they know this information, you've got a much better chance of keeping their attention through the entire presentation. Let's jump ahead to the next video and look at some more great features in Macabacus.